front of your brain is where you think.
I'd imagine they saw people who did not have a front of their brain and they didn't seem to be alive.
What? Did you
So
understand what I said? Or no?
if you see people with a thing and then you see other people without that thing and they behave differently, you can make an inference based
Hey,
off of that. I don't know.
No, I
I
don't
I'd
got
have
a
to
think
look
you
into
understood
the
what I
question.
said at
concept.
all.
I got a question.
Wait, no,
So,
no. Before we get to the other question, I don't think you understood what I said at all.
Yeah,
I
you
do.
said like people without a front of the brain, the prefrontal cortex. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So do
There are
you
things
okay?
without prefrontal cortexes that also are alive. So I don't know what that means.
No, I said lie, not alive.
Oh, things without prefrontal. Oh, they lie, like they
Yes,
deceive.
like lie. Yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah,
what I mean.
that takes like particular intelligence to like deceive,
All right.
and
So
that does
okay.
come from that could. I don't know if that comes from the prefrontal cortex, but it could.
Yeah, it
Um,
comes from the front of the brain. It's scientifically proven.
yeah, yeah. So like
How would they know
again,
that 1,400 years ago?
I would say like Occam's razor, which like I don't know if this is true or not, but let's say that they did predict that, then they would have like saw somebody who did not have that or maybe had a deficiency, and this person was not really that conscious, or they were like unintelligent, or they were not able to reason through basic information because that's what the
No, it
prefrontal
wasn't. It
cortex
wasn't a
allows.
predict.
And then they see people with it, and they're able to do these things. So I could have just said like that about anything. I
It
could have
wasn't
just
a
said, oh well,
prediction.
people without the front of the brain are not able to laugh. People without the front of the brain are not able to sleep. People without the front. I could just say that about anything. I don't have to specifically say lie.
I don't. He didn't use the word without.
Wait,
And also, it
who
wasn't a
said?
prediction. He said it. He said what it was, and it
Wait,
ended up being what it was.
can you say it again?
Ooh, can I say what again?
The scripture, the prediction. What was it exactly?
It was that people lie from the front of their brain, and he didn't say that people without the front of the brain don't lie. Like that's not. He didn't use the word without.
Wait, what does it mean to lie from the front of your brain? That sounds like a metaphor to me.
Okay, so I'll
That
pull it
just
up.
sounds like
Just so I got some more
that sounds to
context.
me like oh, it's right beneath your nose, right?
No,
It
no,
just
no.
sounds like
That's not
people
what I
are
meant.
deceiving you like from their face, like their face is not able to like
No,
they're changing their facial like features to
No, I was
deceive you.
getting
That's what that
whooped.
sounds like. It doesn't sound like an actual medical
I'll,
analysis.
I'll just pull it up.
Okay, please. Yeah, this is like a worse way to
Plus,
start with the prediction thing.
that's putting us
It's
against
not
the
even a
wall.
prediction if he says what it
Another
was.
computer
Yeah,
player.
It's not a
everybody's ranked
prediction.
up.
Yeah.
It's not the. Yeah, it's not a prediction, bro. Okay.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
like, hold on, you see the problem here? Like, you made like a whole bunch of loose inferences based on text,
Oh, I'm just
and
speaking of my knowledge. My knowledge. I'm not a scholar, so don't.
right. So why not include something that's useful to humankind as opposed to a bunch of like loosely
It's loose. What makes you say it's loose if it's hundreds of them?
because it bleaches, bro?
Okay, but it's like a
Yeah.
bunch of things that just make sense. And how would they know these stuff 1,400 years ago?
Why? Okay,
Yeah,
I just want
sounds
to point
good.
out that science figured those things out, not the Bible.
What time is it over there?
I
This
don't
is
believe the Bible.
post hoc. This is post hoc rationalization.
Yeah.
Like you're taking things
That's
from
3
the
here too.
Bible and then matching it up to what
Are you
science
in
says, as
AZ?
I
opposed
don't even,
to
bro. Not the
Am
way
I
I
where?
believe in the Bible, bro.
In AZ?
Like so
the
like okay, so let's say
No,
like
I'm not.
prior to
Sorry,
us
whatever.
Okay.
prior
I'm
to us
tired, dude.
understanding what the prefrontal cortex is, what would drive somebody to look at something like that and be like, oh, this is a prediction? Like all these predictions, if they were happening at that moment, what would drive you to Muhammad?
Say that again, my
Like
fault.
have it come to pass yet? Like if somebody makes a prediction, like you're living in the time of the Quran, whatever that time may be, where somebody's making this prediction, you're living in that time. It hasn't come to pass. What would drive you to Muhammad?
Well,
Why would those people claim that Muhammad is real? Like this is just an argument for why people.
all right, so you believe that Muhammad didn't like
This is
Muhammad
just like
didn't exist at
this
all?
is just like an argument for why people 1,000 years in the future would believe that Muhammad is real, not people during that time. But there were people during that time that believed that he was real. So
I got
I shot him.
Wait,
Yeah,
wait.
I shot
So you think that Muhammad didn't exist? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm sorry, like God. Sorry, whatever his name is. Again, I haven't read the Quran.
Muhammad is not a
I'm
god.
asking you. I'm asking about the God of Islam, the God that
Allah.
The God of the Quran.
Yeah. Allah, sorry, yeah, I forgot the name. Sorry.
We're
Yeah,
so
so
used
why did
to
you
debating
that Allah is
the
real?
we're so used to debating Christians.
It's just God. Yeah.
Gotcha. So why did they believe that God was real when they didn't have those predictions available to them?
Okay, so well, Muhammad came with a message. So
Okay.
Like, yeah, you could be influenced by anything, correct?
Yeah. So a man said that they
Wow, they're going
that,
hard.
that
Yeah,
God was
yes,
real,
sir.
and they believe that man.
I was
Okay.
right.
That's no different from me. A
Wow.
man is saying that God is real in the Bible or in the Quran.
Yeah, but
And
there's
now
multiple
I
prophets
have to
that came
accept
out
it or
of.
believe it.
Well, there's not just one prophet. It's multiple prophets coming
I
in
didn't
that
know where he
damn near
was.
the same message over and over and over again since basically like the dawn of time.
Groupthink, yeah. Groupthink is a thing. I experience that now. There's a whole bunch of people now who go around saying that God is real. And that's just groupthink.
Next one.
That's just a whole bunch of people who have
Next
read the
hard
same
point.
message.
Alright, I'm going.
Yeah.
I
So, I'm trying to
it's
get
a
the
near-death situation right now.
specifics.
But if you make a prediction, just to go back to
Wait,
Wow.
what do you argue?
if you
So
make a
you're saying
prediction and that
Oh,
prediction
gotta
happens
put
to
it in the
come
middle.
true, that's not evidence of God being real.
Well, that's a prophecy.
Some guy coming around back.
You mean prophecy, correct?
Same thing. You're saying that something's
sorry.
going to
Right, to the
occur.
left, left.
No.
Another one coming in.
That's not evidence that God is real.
But okay, you're
Another
confusing
one coming in.
predictions and actual facts. If he says something
Down
it
there,
is what it
slid on
is,
you, bro.
that's not a prediction. It's already
Okay, so if
it's
somebody
already-
was somebody was intelligent and they were able to deduce
Oh,
things with very limited knowledge, that's
Uh-huh.
that's not evidence of God. John von Neumann did that. One of the smartest human beings that ever existed. This man did that. That's not evidence of God. He was just very intelligent. I agree. There's a lot of people
But yeah, if there's
in
evidence,
Middle East who are very intelligent. They invented math, like algebra.
Okay.
So
For the
yeah,
new one?
they were intelligent
You
people.
died.
okay. So there's okay. What we mean by evidence is that there's multiple things that the person has said that is deemed as true, and it is evidence behind what he said. So wouldn't that make you not believe him at all, or no?
I can believe that person is really good with like predictions or saying things that are true or like deducing or inferencing things that are real and are observable that will later be confirmed to be real.
Guy coming in.
That's not evidence of God, though.
Okay. So you're basically saying that. All right. So you believe that God doesn't exist at all, or do you think there's a possibility?
I don't know if he exists.
Okay. So you don't. All
Like,
right.
I
So
have not seen any evidence of that.
okay. So what makes you say forcing a fictional religion if you don't even know if he exists or not?
Well, the fiction is a thing is
Crap.
so there's some things I know that didn't happen, right? I know
Nice.
that a man named Moses
We got a
could
stabber
not
on our
strike a
team.
staff on the ground and an entire ocean split in half. I know that didn't happen. That is
How
an
do you-
imaginary
Next,
thing.
trying
By
to-
definition, fiction is an imaginary literature surrounding an imaginary event or imaginary character. First of all, there's no evidence that Moses
Kinda
existed,
took a long
and there's no
way.
evidence that an ocean was split by a wooden staff. So those things I know that happened, therefore it has to be fiction.
Okay. Is there any evidence that leads to him not even existing at all?
But there's no evidence of him in existence. I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know if you can
okay.
disprove the fact that Moses existed or not. But we have
Did
not
not
found
win.
any evidence of it.
Okay. All right. So would you agree that we have not
Start
we don't have a lot of
sniping.
evidence on stuff that does exist in the world that we are not
Yeah.
knowledgeable about?
Yeah. So we
okay.
should not make claims based off of those things.
I got
right?
the spot.
What makes you think that we can't say? What,
Yeah,
what makes you think that
So
we can't?
like we can't.
Well, you're claiming that it
make
doesn't
claims.
exist.
So
So
like
you-
we don't know,
okay.
for example, we don't know if we can go faster than the speed of light.
They're on
We don't
me.
know if there's
Get 'em.
some physical ability for us
We
to be
get
able to go faster. Our
Yeah.
current knowledge is that
Shit.
some people have theorized
just
that
said- okay.
we maybe
That's
could
this
with
one.
like time warping and like
Well,
space-time warping and stuff like that, right?
you
We don't
just said-
know. So what would be
I'm on my way
good to
there.
say is because we don't
Oh,
know
they're
that
there.
we could discover it in the future, faster than light travel, but we don't
First
know it.
one
So we
there,
can't
there
say
first.
that we can travel faster
Okay.
than the
So,
speed of
all
light.
right. So then you could
You
also
agree with that?
you could also say that you
Yeah.
that you can't. You just said that Moses didn't exist. How do you know that he didn't exist?
Okay, so
There's
like
no proof
I know
behind that he
what I
didn't
know.
exist.
Sorry, like maybe I misspoke. I don't know if Moses there's no evidence of him existing. What I
Okay.
do know is that a man named Moses
They're all
did
laying
not
down
strike a
there.
staff on the ground and the ocean split in half. I do know that.
It might be
I
better
do
off
know
if
that a
we
woman
keep
named
it.
Mary was not conceived without sperm.
Okay.
She did not
Yeah.
conceive a baby
Like
without sperm. She's not
okay,
asexual.
So all right. What do you think God is?
Too lame.
So the God of the Bible.
No, Quran.
the
Oh,
context that we're
man.
talking
They got
about
too
here.
many points on
Well,
that
Was
one.
an individual that created the
Yeah,
earth
where's
and the
it at?
heavens
Where's
and
the
the
new one?
universe, and also created
In the
like,
center.
a
Center?
standard for
Center?
morality.
Okay.
And also tells people whether they should pray or not, and stuff like that. Yeah, that's
There.
generally the God of like these religions.
Now, would you say that if God wanted something to exist and wanted something to happen, he can make it happen?
Yeah. So like you
Okay,
can make
so
other
if you
gods.
believe,
right?
okay. So like I said, if you don't believe that God, well, you said you don't know if God exists. So if you don't know if God exists, what makes you think that if he did exist, he didn't do it?
If you don't what?
Got me.
Like I said, if you believe that God, you don't know if God exists.
I
If he did exist,
uh,
what makes you think that he couldn't
it's
have
like
made
you
Moses
see
do
him,
that?
but it's like too late.
What makes me think that he did?
Okay, so
Above
you're
you.
basically saying that
I
you
got
don't know if he exists, correct?
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
Another
so you
one?
don't know. So if
Oh.
he does,
Yeah.
what makes you think that
got that
he
point
didn't
for a little
make
though.
Moses do that?
That's
So
cool.
So that
there's no
there's
evidence of that.
possibilities, correct?
Yeah, there's no evidence of
Oh,
that.
I'm
Okay, just
sorry.
because there's no
I'm
evidence,
We
it's
have
not
never
consistent.
seen an ocean split in half by a human
And you've
striking
also never seen
a
God.
wooden
Right.
staff on the ground.
Okay,
That is
but you've
physically
also,
impossible.
That's
okay,
good
but
because
you've
I
also
need
never
it.
seen
I
God.
really
So
need
that would be against the laws of physics.
Okay,
So why create laws of physics if you're just gonna bank it? I don't get that.
okay, wait. All right,
There's no
who
way,
invented the laws of
dude.
physics?
I don't know if anybody invented the laws of physics. They just are. We just observe them.
They put
Okay,
me so
so like I
far.
said, God is the creation of all, correct?
No, I don't agree with that.
Oh no, I'm saying in general. Like if what God,
No,
what
I
universe
believe that,
God
yeah.
is. Okay, yeah. So would it be crazy to say that?
For what?
Good
That
job.
God
We're
didn't
locking
create
it
create
Say
this
what?
or
down.
create that.
I'm sorry.
Like God didn't create this or create that. If he created everything, it makes you think that he couldn't have done what Moses have done, or made Moses do what he did.
So what makes me think
They're
is
not
that
coming.
there's
They're
no
waiting
evidence
for
of that
next point.
happening.
Okay. All right, but then it would also be
Back
crazy to say
there,
that it
the-
did not happen.
So
You're
not
right.
only do we not have evidence of God existing, we also don't have evidence of him splitting.
Oh, there he is.
And we don't have any
I'm
evidence of
going
an
to
ocean
next.
being split.
Oh, I can't.
Okay, but you're 100% certain that it
Oh
didn't.
no, did they have their space locked down?
Yeah, I'm certain.
Okay,
it
but
didn't.
then it goes back to the fact that you said you don't know if God exists, but we don't have no evidence
Yeah.
that God does, right? Correct?
Go around.
Yeah, we don't have any evidence
then
that God
couldn't
does.
you say the
we don't
same
have
for
any
that as
evidence
well?
that the ocean was split.
Okay, but there's also no evidence that God exists,
So
correct?
I can confidently say that an ocean was
He's
not
gonna
split.
stab.
All right, so by
Oh,
using your logic, you could
Like
also
I
Stab
can
say
just
that
say
God.
that, like okay, like
Yeah,
this is
two
like, I
are
don't
in
see how
there. I
this
killed
is any
two of
different
them.
from the scenario.
No,
No,
Me
I'm just
telling
applying
you
your logic.
that- Wait,
to
hold
the
on, like, wait, hold on. If I were
Yeah.
to just say this,
we got it.
40
We
I
got
live
it.
in Hawaii, right? Like 40 minutes
Another guy
ago,
come
before
in.
you got on here,
Good job. Good job.
I split the ocean in half.
Where's the next point?
I just
Nowhere?
went to the beach
Okay.
and
Okay.
I just split the ocean in half.
In 4 seconds. Now there's a point.
Okay.
All right, I wouldn't
So,
believe.
did I split the ocean in half?
I don't know. I don't believe you though. Like I'm okay now. Using your logic, you said that you don't know if God exists. So there is a possibility, like you said, correct?
There is
Come
a
on.
possibility for what?
Oh, no.
That God can exist. Because you said you don't know.
I don't know if it's possible, I guess, maybe.
Okay, so if it's possible,
When we have to
then both
define
are
like
possible
God,
that
I don't know
made
if
Got
it's
him.
a God that's really the universe.
I
I
don't
don't know
hear-
if it's like
I
a
don't hear-
God that is like a alien species or something like that. I don't know.
Okay, like I said, bro, you're not.
And I
I'm
don't know if
applying
that
your
God
logic.
has
to
the
the situation.
ability, and I don't know if that God has the ability to split an ocean like that.
Okay, I'm using your logic, applying it to one thing to another. You don't have no proof that it can.
This is not the same logic.
Yes, it is. It literally is. You said that there is a possibility that God can
Shit.
exist, correct? If God wanted Moses to do that, he could have done that. Yes or no?
Getting closer.
No, I don't
Coming
think so. I
left.
don't know.
Coming left.
It's a yes or no question. If you don't know, then there's a
No,
possibility.
I don't know. I can't say yes or no because I
Okay,
don't
so there's
know
a
what
possibility,
God
correct?
we're
You're not
We're
certain,
so
talking
hold on,
about.
close.
right?
Like Thor is a God, right? Is he not?
Huh?
Oh
I
my
don't think that
god.
Thor can split the oceans in half, even if he was real.
Victory
but
feels good.
we know
after losing so
what
many
Thor's
times,
attributes
right?
are.
I know, right?
Yeah, so I don't know.
You know what his
God
limits
we're
are?
I
talking
think
about.
we should
If
end
the
it
God
like
of the
on a
Bible
high note.
existed,
Uh-huh.
I don't believe in
could
the
he
Bible.
split an
Alright.
ocean in half? I don't know.
Good game, bro.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
I don't believe in the Bible. You keep like confusing me with
Mhm.
Christianity, bro. I'm Muslim.
Well, I haven't read this one.
Okay. Like I said though, it still goes back. The logic was correct. If there's a possibility that God does exist, if he did exist, he could have made Moses do that.
So-
Yes or no?
Cool. So this argument, like this line of reasoning is fallacious. The reason why
How is it fallacious?
is, yeah, so it's fallacious because we have never seen an ocean split in half.
Okay.
We
You
have
also
no
never seen
evidence of an
God.
ocean having been split in half.
Okay.
So if you want somebody to believe, like I'm just talking about Christianity. but
Have
we
you seen
can
the
apply this
universe
to
be
religion
created?
as well? Hold on, I'm gonna finish.
Okay.
So I'm just talking about Christianity, but again, we can apply this to your religion as well. So if you're gonna make the claim that God is real and God split the ocean in half, it's not enough to like advise somebody. Okay, well, if God was real, could he not split an ocean in half? Okay, sure, but like I don't know if that's not gonna like
Like you said,
presupposing you're
never seen
presupposing
that.
that's
Okay, so
literally
you
just
basically
begging the question.
so
Like
basically
you would
what
have
you're
to
saying is
you would
that-
have to present to me evidence that one, God is real, and then two, that he did actually split the oceans in half.
Okay, so you're basically saying
Not
that you've never seen
is it
someone split the
possible
ocean.
for that
Okay,
to happen?
hold on.
Because it's impossible for us to be in a simulation. Is it possible that if we were in a simulation